from my car this bright and shiny day. So yesterday I had alluded to doing some dry fire training. Well, time gets away from us sometimes, and it did not happen yesterday. So here I am. I'm going to talk to you guys about the importance of dry fire training. Important one. And also, seriously, if you guys have any tips, tricks, or anything that you like to practice when you are not live firing, hit me up. Let me know what you do. All the fun things. So, first thing about dry fire. We're going to go over safety rules. Yay, my face. So, basically, we're going to just do safety rules in a nutshell, so I don't bore you guys. Keep your finger off the trigger until you intend to fire. But that shouldn't be rule number one. So let's pause for a minute. Okay, number one. When getting ready to do a dry fire drill, check and make sure your barrel is empty and your magazine is empty. You don't want to accidentally shoot through your hole because, well, that would be no fun. Or accidentally shoot a bullet outside someone because, well, that's dangerous. So, rule number two. Do not aim a firearm, loaded or unloaded, at anything you do not wish to destroy. Simple. Don't aim at anything you don't want hurt or broken. Rule number three. Do not point the gun at yourself or any other human. We don't need any accidental deaths. Rule number four. Do not point the firearm at your feet. We don't want to miss any toes. Rule number five. Make sure when doing any training activity, your gun is properly stowed before facing another individual. This is something I learned on my last training day, though I felt like I maybe probably had my firearm stowed before facing another individual. Perhaps I did not. I don't know. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we all need reminders. So, okay, so those are Bamfort's rules for firearms. Okay, so rules of dry fire. As in any firearm scenario, you're not going to improve if you don't do what? Practice. Practice makes progress, right? So, So practice makes progress. So it's huge to practice. You need to get in as much practice time as you can. And, there's a whole bunch of reasons that we might not be able to go out the range. I mean, yesterday was an absolutely gorgeous day. It would have been a perfect day to make up for the class I missed on Saturday. Didn't happen. So, unfortunately, I haven't gotten any, true firing time, live firing time, range time, moving and shooting time, BAMF stuff. I haven't gotten to do any of that in over a month. And that's just not going to fly. More on that later. So, one of the cool things about dry firing is it gives you the opportunity to work on certain techniques and really improve in certain areas where you don't necessarily need to live fire. So, real quick, this is kind of my belt setup. I got my Glock 17 Gen 5, I got my mags, I got my little AR mag pouch. I really want to put another one of these on here. 3 of those. I don't know, I might have to see how this setup works. I really haven't used this particular setup yet. So I got my inner belt already on. Woo, belts. Let me see it. So I got my mag pouches for the Glock right here. They have mag extensions on them. So yeah, dry fire drills. So kind of what I was talking about earlier. Okay. So I'm gonna put my hair up because it's serious business. I just don't want my hair on my face when I'm showing you guys this. So definitely want to find a spot, where if your firearm was loaded that you're not going to harm anything. This goes out to nothing. This is my wall. But honestly, still. So following Britt's safety rules, I'm going to pull my firearm out. I'm going to show clear. Look, clear. You guys see it? Clear. Cool. Okay. Cool. So, dry fire. So now live fire has some benefits, clearly. Dry fire is not going to give you all the aspects that live fire does, as in that recoil, just all the natural feelings and things that happen, the sound, all of it. But there are still some benefits. So there's a couple things I like to work on with dry fire, and the first one is going to seem silly, but it's actually worthwhile and tried and true. So this is something I even need to do like more than I currently do. So this is about trigger control. So basically the exercise, you will need a firearm, handgun, and you will need a shell casing or a gun. Now the object of this is to work on trigger control. And how you gauge that is through putting the shell casing or the dime on the front side of your firearm and pushing it out like you're going to fire, pulling the trigger without knocking that shell casing or dime off. I might eventually get to show you guys this drill at some point, because I keep getting interrupted here. Okay, so this drill is the trigger control drill that I was speaking of. So we're going to show clear. Look, clear. Cool. So the point of this drill, you generally have a partner to do this part, but I don't right now. But I want to show you guys anyway. So you put your empty casing on your front sight. It's all about that trigger control. So put it on there pretty good. Get your grip. You pull that trigger without it falling off, which I'm struggling with clearly because I keep getting interrupted and I'm flustered. But yeah, we're gonna try it again. Okay. So like I said, much easier if you have a partner helping you out, but I don't. That's how it's done. Yeah! Finally. Took me long enough. Anyway, there you go. That is the trigger control drill. Do it 100 times, I'll be impressed. I still haven't reached my 100. But I'm gonna do it 100 times. Man, I still haven't hit that 100. I'll get up there in numbers and then I drop it and I'm like... And then I gotta start all over. So if you guys get to 100, I'm gonna be super impressed. I'm still working on my 100. So yeah, but just keep practicing that. It's one of those things that even though you're not getting that recoil and stuff, it's muscle memory. Think about it. What you do in practice is generally what you're going to do in a real life scenario. So if you practice it enough, even with that recoil and everything else, that's still how you're going to operate your trigger if you get it into that muscle memory. Okay, so exercise number 2 that I like to do is reloading drills. Now this is an area that I feel especially passionate about because I need work in this area. So reloading, like I noticed a deficiency in my reloading skills my first true advanced pistol class day, which was the day I felt I ate shit. So that day was already not going well for me. And then it came to reloading and I was like, So yeah, practicing reloading, huge. So when you're practicing reloading, the best way to do it is with your belt, gun in the holster, and just practice like dropping a mag, putting in a new one, and letting your slide go. So the 2 main points of this drill are to practice short draw and get a good purchase, and to unload and reload simultaneously as quickly as possible. So I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm probably going to suck at it because I really have not done this enough. So practice makes progress, right? Alright, ready? Here we go. So generally when we're in the training scenarios, it's you wait for the beep, so it's like beep, and then you go. Clearly I don't have a beep, so I might do my own beep. Alright, so beep. So got my purchase, got my sight picture, cool, good. So that's the first things you want to make sure of. You want to make sure you have that. You want to make sure you have proper grip on your firearm. Your thumbs are aligned on that side. You don't have any space between your hands. So like so. So it's a good thing to kind of get used to. You want to be slightly bent forward. You want to be sure you can see that firearm where you're aiming it. I'm a left-eye dominant right-handed shooter, so you might see me doing this sometimes. But that allows me to see it. And I have that front sight black, allowing me to see a little bit better. Okay. So that's the first part, is getting your draw. So beep. Making sure you have your hands aligned, your thumbs aligned, everything's in the right spot, fingers off the trigger because you're not intending to fire currently. Cool. Done. Okay. So, we got that first part down. Second part. Beep. Got that purchase, got all that stuff right. Cool. Awesome. We're going to drop the mag, which I have a little bit of hard time with because I have to do my hand. Drop it. Same time when you pull it out with your finger on the mag like this. In. Fire. Okay? So, we'll go ahead and do this. And one of the easiest things that I was taught in Lana's class was to kind of rest your arm on your firearm, because you can't have your hands up when the beep goes, but you can kind of have yourself situated in a proper place. So we're gonna reset here. Got my mag, got it in properly when the bullet's facing forward, so it's easy to grab. And okay, so here we go. Beep. Here. So, that's the reload drill. Woohoo! Nothing too spectacular, but we're going to do it again here. So I'm going to get my mags kind of all situated right. So when I say bullets facing forward, you want that side that shows how many you have in there facing back. Because when you grab it out, you grab it with your fingertip like so you can insert, which, yes, we all have dirty minds. Okay, so I'm going to start with your mag end. So we're going to do it again. I'm going to go ahead and insert this mag. You want to make sure it's seated. You got to get that click, and you want to put it in there good and hard. Okay. That's the way to start. Kind of have your arm resting. Just chill. It's always good, right? Know how you're going to do it in real life, and that way you can get better and faster, and you can really, really improve that skill. Get proficient with that skill. So that's something that I want to work on. Alright, so just kind of chill out while you're waiting for the beep. Ready? So we're going to pull, drive out, drop the mag, reload simultaneously. So as fast as you can. So, since you can't start out like so, which would be nice. Arm kind of resting, chilling out, ready to roll. Beep. See, I kind of messed that one up. This is good. Beep. And make sure you got a good purchase there. Fingers lined, no space between your hands. And drop that mag. Simple, but important. So yeah, that was it. Another aspect of dry fire that I like to work on too, well there's two more, is, you know, how you're going to pull from that holster and push your firearm out. I think that practicing that is only going to get your purchase on your handgun better, and it's going to help improve that speed and accuracy in how you do so, how you get that grip, how well you push that out, how well of a purchase you have on it. So that's important things to practice. It may seem like minor, minuscule, like a side note, like something like, oh, well, I don't need to do that, because, you know, you think you're doing it right or whatever. But it can't hurt, especially with this, like, nationwide, worldwide ammo shortage. Yeah, if you didn't know, there was a shortage on ammo. There is, and it's hard to find. I only have a stock stash, whatever you want to call it, of it, because I've been hunting and driving hours and miles and miles and miles for months, just kind of stockpiling whatever I can for training, because I'm not one of those douchebags that just stockpiles to stockpile. Now granted, if you are one of those douchebags, no offense intended, if I had the money to just stockpile to stockpile, I totally would, because people crazy. This world is crazy. I don't trust nobody. Nope. Regardless, dry fire. So the last one that I think would be also a really awesome and beneficial dry fire training scenario would be to switch off between firearms. So this scenario would include having your AR on your back, having your handgun in your holster, and reloads. So that way you're pulling your handgun out of your holster, so you're getting that practice with that holster draw, push out of the firearm. Then you're going to drop that mag, put a new mag in, reholster, and flip the AR around, get it up on your shoulder right, get it in that little pocket, get that cheek weld right, and then you're going to drop that mag, reload it, put it back on your back, and start over. So I think that that's a really cool reloading, and also, you know, just getting that right grip, and also just practicing different scenarios, and it helps with speed and accuracy. So that's one of those things that I think would be really cool to work on. I've not even tried that drill yet, but I've seen it done, and I was like, oh man, that's definitely something I need to do. So I'm kind of looking forward to giving that a shot. Puns all day long. I never even intend these puns, but puns. I'm punny. Anyway. Punny pamphlet. Anywho, you might not know this, but I've been shooting, that long. Most everybody I know started like years and years and years ago, and you also might not know this. I'm 35. Maybe I don't look it. I don't know. Maybe I do sometimes. But yeah, I'm 35. So I started a little bit later in life as far as the firearms world. So I'm playing catch up with people who are, Olympic shooters and national, champions as far as gun comp or, firearms competitions, and people who have been in the service, and police officers, and like just people who've been doing this for a long time. And I'm like, kind of feel like I operate on a disadvantage because nobody ever showed me this stuff. Like, this was something that I had to go find and do and learn on my own. And it's been really hard for me because, working with these guys, they've been like, everything you learned, forget it. And I'm like, but I thought that I knew things. Last year I spent a lot of time working on marksmanship and properly, doing things. And I felt like I was actually getting somewhere. I was doing reactive shooting. I was doing all sorts of really cool things. And I felt like I was getting better every single day. And I was going every single day. But that was when I had a little bit more of a disposable income, and I was able to just blow money on like hundreds of rounds a day. And unfortunately, I just can't do that anymore. And also, apparently, I was learning the wrong thing. I feel like my talents really lie with distance rifles.
I'm a psychopath, cause I'm living the track with Carmichael raps. I'm a hit him with a bat, then a Michael slash. In my Michael mask, with my psycho ass. Got a rifle strapped, then I'm striking back. It's revenge of the nerds when I write raps. I'ma leave you die first, then I'm dying last. Then I'm lying back, getting high and grass.
That's like, quote unquote, the last thing I need to learn. Which kind of sucks because, like I said, that's where I kind of feel like my talents are. So I'm kind of like, because I don't need to work on that. I need to work on my handgun skills and my carbine skills first. And I'm just like, oh.
It's a living nightmare once you give up on the jeans. Straight out the cocoon, my butterfly knife make you leave. My jacket, my pants, my hat don't match. She happened to glance, she gasped, attracted. Back in her trance, she passed, distracted. Back in my stance, I laugh at rats. She had to advance, adapt my tactics. Rappers are tapped, the task attached. Practice my craft, my life surpass it. Who the fuck fucking with flaw? Who? Niggas be two-timing, I'm on a new timing. I need a W, just like the Wu sign. A nigga, the crew grinding, we in a new climate. Find the next thing and fuck it and you find it. Slow down. Yeah, got stuff like new comments, butter like blue bonnet, passing that new knowledge. Slow down. Yeah, capturing the nuances, stashing a few dollars second. I'm new guala, whacking a new product, rapping, I'm new credit, rapping, I'm new sonics, back on my new monics, back up, I blew on it. It's only nose, nigga, if you on it. Wow, DKNY 1995 on me, no doubt. Yeah, when I say
but I don't know. I think a lot of that frustration in general, just like flustered and lack of confidence in it, is because I worked on handgun for a straight year. And I felt like I had really gotten somewhere and really gained some knowledge. And it's like everything that I had learned, I am now unlearning and relearning. And it's not everything. It's just like certain things. Like and honestly, I'm a firm believer that there is no one correct way to do anything. Now, in certain aspects of firearms and firearm safety, yes, there's one correct way to do anything. But also, like I said before in one of my prior videos, like, as far as like training scenarios, that's when it's like a perfect time to like test a theory or something. Like not to the extent that you're another person's safety. But to the extent that, hey, I wonder if this works. Well, this is a good time to test this out, because where else am I in a real life scenario? You're not gonna test the theory. At least I wouldn't.
Can I get a 1 bop, 2 bop, 3 bop? Can I get a 1 bop, 2 bop, 3 bop? Can I said counting every second, I'm taking my time now. Ascension at 11, I think I might fly now.
Do that on memory and hope that gives me the things that I need in that scenario. So I also like have this habit of, as my love likes to say, looking for the home run that I did not hit. Yeah. So that, suffice it to say, is like that act of like, you know, looking, you're shooting, you're like pop, 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 and looking over your handgun to see if you hit that bullseye. Well, you didn't. Or you did, but stopping to look is like you're looking for what exactly? Keep shooting. Especially if you're working on speed and like competition stuff, because I really want to get into competitions and that's important to me. So for me, sorry, big truck just pulled out on me. So like for me, like looking for that home run I didn't hit is definitely like huge, and it's like, okay, when he got me out on it, I was like, I don't, wait a minute, yes I do. Or anticipating recoil, things like that. You just have, it's just like all the little things totally add up. So if you don't practice that stuff in your downtime, then you're definitely doing yourself a disservice, because then when you're in a live scenario training, it's like you're focusing on all the little things. So the main thing you're supposed to be focusing on is going to the wayside, and you're eating shit, like I did last class, because I didn't put in like enough time beforehand. I mean, all BS aside and everything, I just want to get back to training, because like I have such a passion and drive for it. Like I'm like craving knowledge, and I'm thirsting for an opportunity to train. So it's like, okay, let's get back at it. Ding. So yeah, so hopefully I will be able to go over and show you guys kind of how I do the dry fire training. It might be a little rusty or slow because it's been a while, as I said. And I really should be doing like the dry fire stuff more, which is part of the reason that I'm sharing it with you guys, because I'm like, hey, I need to do this more. Maybe I'll share this with everybody. So until next time, work hard, train harder already, y'all know. Focus. Are you focused yet? All right, my friends, I will talk to you all a little bit later. Until then, bam, bow. Bye, friends.
This is my last resort. Cut my life into pieces. I've reached my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my arm.